everyone. Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't been here in so long, and I am going to be very rusty. So let's start. Welcome to the Quest Show. I am Lana Quest, and this is the first show that I've done since, I don't know, the beginning of Christmas. I want to say it's been quite a long time, but I'm happy that I made it and I am here. Thank you to all of the new subscribers who subscribed even when I didn't have a recent show. So thank you guys. That's amazing. There's a lot to talk about, and I know I'm not going to get to everything. So forgive me because, again, it's been since before Christmas. Just needed to take that, holiday break. I hope everyone out there had a great, safe holiday, and is having a great start to the new year. I know it's getting closer to the felon's inauguration, so that kind of sucks, but we're going to get through it together. Trust me, we're going to do it. So anyway, let's just jump right into the show because we do have a lot to talk about. I will be rusty. I will try not to ramble so much. So today was the day that we remember the life of Jimmy Carter. His ceremony was today. As the gathering of all the living past presidents. It was very good. I did work today, but I did get a chance to stream it on my phone and watch some of it. It's worth watching because it's like I appreciate, politics is just dirty, right? It's just a dirty thing. You get grimy trying to get what you want. It's a grimy sport. Out of politics, sometimes there arises just good human beings, like just good souls, right? And when you find that, it's the celebration of that person just brings new light and new hope to it. And Jimmy Carter just seems like, I was young, so I didn't know a ton about Jimmy Carter, but I knew more about him after his presidency. And I've been learning a lot just listening to people recount, what they know about him. Yeah. So anyway, these are some things that I found out about Jimmy Carter. First, who knew his name was James Earl Carter Jr.? That's something I didn't know. I don't know. Never thought about it. Jimmy Carter, just thought his name was Jimmy Carter, but James Earl Carter Jr., that's amazing. It was also amazing that he was with his wife for over 70 years. Like that right there is just, whoa, amazing. He entered military school during World War II. He was the first person to graduate high school on his father's side of the family. So that's pretty interesting. Very humble beginnings. He actually gave up his life in the military, his career in the military, to go back to help save his family's peanut farm. Again, these are things that I didn't know about. I did know about his work in civil rights and the Carter Center and his humanitarian work. So those things are big. And then the little stories that they told about, him trying to desegregate a church, and he wasn't having any good impact trying to do it. So he was like, you know what? If I can't do it here, I'll make my own church. So, he started his own church. His father was, I guess, a segregation. He was a segregationist. So that's pretty big for, Jimmy Carter to come out of that, and just to be who he was and be such a humanitarian and be such a humble spirit and have the soul of giving, and that, what is that, habits for humanitarian and building the houses. And then he was with a woman who was the same. They were equally yoked. So those are just the things that those two people did. So that was pretty amazing to watch. Also, it was interesting to watch, George Bush snub Donald Trump. That was great to watch, right? I don't know if you guys saw that, but Bush, when he was walking over, he was in the same row with President Obama, and Trump and Melania sitting there with a scowl on her face. When he walked, Obama stood up to shake his hand, and he acted like Trump didn't exist. So that gave me life. Kamala looked back at Trump and Obama talking and just kind of rolled her eyes and just started looking forward. It's interesting how the media tries to make something out of nothing. They have to this is the one time where people put politics aside, and everyone's humanity comes forward, because they're talking about like Obama and Trump having a laugh together and just talking, and it's like, I just don't see that. I don't think all is forgiven. Trump's a vile racist. He did birtherism. I don't think Obama is going to be his friend. I don't think Obama gives a fuck about Donald Trump. I think Obama, he moves with grace. He was not going to do anything that would disrupt the funeral or have a whole conversation about him doing something to Trump or ignoring him on the news instead of what we should be talking about, which was President Jimmy Carter's life. Obama knows that. He's cognizant of that. So he's going to be cordial with the orange blob, like he has to. I mean, Michelle Obama was not there. I'm not going to speculate why she wasn't there. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I have no idea. I wouldn't want to be there either, because that seating arrangement, they would have been right next to Trump. So it's like either she would have had to talk to Melania or talk to Trump. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't want to talk to any of those two clowns. So that was that. Trump shook the hand of Pence. That was weird. Pence kind of tried to, ignore him, but they did shake hands. Mrs. Pence wasn't having any of it. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. You can shake his hand, but I don't really care. Trump is just a whole pariah, right? He sat there with a mean scowl on his face just the whole time. He just reminds you of that guy who he just never belongs, right? It doesn't matter. He got what he wanted. He's going to be the president of the United States. He's got his boys in there, right? He's got the Supreme Court. Like, he's just got everything is going his way, and he still sits in that church, mean mugging just everything and everyone. Like, he just hates life, because he is that guy that no matter his wealth, his riches, who's around him, deep down inside, he's still a loser. And he knows that. And that will never be satisfied. That's why he's always cheating. He's always lying. He is always him alone that can fix it. It's just him, because he can't satisfy that need to be that the guy, right? And now he's surrounded by greatness. Like he's got Obama's here, Vice President Harris is here. She's there with her husband, and he's just like, it's just an interesting thing to watch. Anyway, that did happen. The wildfires are still raging on. Oh my God, those people are suffering. This is just awful. There's a girl at my job whose family, she's from California here to go to law school. Her family lost, she lost her family home. They lost their home. It's just really an awful thing to see. My thoughts go out because, I mean, it's getting crazy. The weather's getting crazy. These disasters and natural disasters are just, they're getting worse. And, we have to start changing the way we do mitigation around our ever-changing climate. I know a lot of people like, well, this has nothing to do with climate change. It's like, it's either arson or I don't know, someone was barbecuing, who knows? But it is climate change, right? Because the winds, right? These winds were unheard of during this time. And that is what like fueled it and just was like made it worse than what it was. It was taking those embers and sending them to this house and kept changing the direction of the fires and the flames. So that's just, it's pretty sad because California is known for wildfires, but who could have prepared for something like this, like something like this magnitude? The pictures are just, it's sad, it's devastating to hear the people when they go back to their homes and they're in tears. It's like they have nothing. Like I cannot imagine that. And we can say, because we're on the outside, like you got your health, but you have nothing. Some people didn't get a chance to even go to their homes from work to gather their things. It's just like nothing is there. The albums, their family heirlooms, like those pets, family pets. So my thoughts are still with those people there. As always, Republicans exploit these situations. Like, oh, what kind of animal are you? Like, not even an animal. Like, who are you? Like, who raised you to exploit these situations? Like, how do we make this? How do we make tragedy left, right? Like, how do we do that, right? Now, if you gave your thoughts and prayers, said, California lawmakers are doing what they can, the fire department, blah, blah, blah. And then you came out and said, we need to work on mitigation, blah, 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 blah. But they don't do that. Trump immediately goes to attacking Gavin Newsom. Like, just immediately, that's where he goes. He goes to lying and attacking his enemies because that's all he knows. Like, he separates the suffering, the people, because he can't empathize. There's no empathy. So MAGA is just a strange thing that you voted for someone who has zero empathy for people. We saw him what he did in North Carolina. He lied to the people and told them FEMA was the boogeyman. And then the people were like, oh, well, FEMA tried to call me, or they're shooting at FEMA. And FEMA's trying to help them and give them money. And they're just like, we don't trust FEMA. They're like, that's crazy. And then Trump just goes and he flies off on, freaking jet and goes to Mar-a-Lago. Like, and meanwhile, these people don't have homes. It's a crazy thing to me. So he loves tragedy because he can exploit that. And it's a wild thing. And it's just, again, it's hard to understand why half of America was like, yep, that's my guy. I mean, we get racism, white supremacy, but it's like, even with that, like, that's still your guy? That racist white supremacist? Like, I'm sure there's other Republicans that are racist and white supremacists that you could have been like, yeah, I'd rather that guy than the idiot, but it is what it is. Anyway, so also J6, that happened the anniversary of January 6th. Also, what did we do? The certification. Oh, there's a lot going on, right? We have a Speaker Johnson. He's back. Of course he's back because who else would do it? Like, there's Republicans that thumped their chest and was like, I'm not going to vote for Speaker Johnson. But they took a break. Trump made some phone calls and then they, took the knee and then voted for him. So like we all knew that was going to happen. Kamala had to certify the election results, which was pretty hard. But let's go back to J6 because, January 6th, we know what happened that day, but Republicans are still acting like that was a thing that didn't happen. So as truth tellers and as fact tellers, we have to continue to show the video, to talk about it so that it's there. We don't forget about it. We don't want to repeat it, so we need to continue to talk about it. And the other piece too is that the time that we're about to enter in, where Trump is going to constantly lie about everything. I know we don't want to listen to him, but we kind of have to, right? We have to listen to him. Somebody's got to do it. Someone's got to take a couple for the team and listen to him so we can get the word out there to everyone else, because the media is not going to do it. You just know that. The media is not going to do it. The media is not going to show Trump not being able to string sentences together. I mean, I'm not great at it either, but I'm a little better than he is. The media is not going to show that. The media is not going to hear him say, like, call Argentina sir. Like, they're just not going to hear that, and they're not going to report on it. So we have to continue to do that. But getting back to J6, let's just do a reminder of J6, because they keep saying it was a picnic. And remember, the biggest thing about this, because this is what Trump was talking about a lot this week, was the pardons, right? Like, they're asking him, are you going to pardon them? And he's saying, there's some there that shouldn't be there. They were just in there, just walking around. They were doing nothing, which we know that is not true. The people in jail, one, pled guilty, most of them, also are the most violent ones. The people who were just walking around, they probably they got fined and you got to go. Like, you got fined. You're not in jail. So let's see who he wants to pardon, though.
Video of the officer squeezed in a door frame by rioters pushing and screaming, "Heave ho!" This is the same door, but a different officer, dragged out of the line of D.C. police officers trying to push the rioters out of the Capitol. It is hard to see through the crowd, but the officer, desperate and alone, was beaten, stomped, and hit with the flagpole. At one point, it looked like one of the protesters would impale him.
Back in my day.
So, those are the people that he wants to pardon, because that was just a picnic. Hi, Michelle. Hey, baby Juggernaut. How you guys doing? Yes, we are here, 7 o'clock, new time, 8 o'clock. I am too old. I get too tired. I can't do that 8 to 9. But this is just perfect. So these are the people that he wants to pardon. The people with the, that's the picnic that he's talking about. But you know what? This is how MAGA are. This is how MAGA are. Stop playing right now. They are. Because look at, he says it's a picnic. It's just there to picnic. Hillary called them deplorable. They had a heart attack. Who are you calling deplorable, right? She had to go on defense and apologize for calling MAGA deplorable. That wasn't deplorable. Those people defecated in the Capitol building and smeared it on the walls. They peed and poop everywhere. That's not deplorable behavior? How about this?
Yeah.
Go where you belong.
Get out! Go where you belong. Get out! You are counting! Stay away from us, motherfucker! Get the fuck out of here!
You gonna vote for a traitor?
Get the fuck out of here, faggot! You're the faggot! You're the faggot! You're the faggot! Get the fuck out of here, bitch! Bitch! You have a cunt! You're a little pussy! You're a pussy! You're a pussy! Do you hear me? You're a
so wonderful, aren't they? They're just such sweet people, those MAGA. You gotta love them. They're so calm and nice. Even after he won, they got even. No, they didn't. They didn't. There's no pleasing them. They are deplorable. They are full of rage. Like they're just so awful. And it's so crazy, right? Because look at them. They think they're so tough. And Trump literally has them wrapped around his finger. He could tell them to drink poison Kool-Aid like Jim Jones did, and they would drink it. Anything he says, they'll be like, yep, he's right. He's right. Sky is orange. Yep, Trump's right. It's orange. Biden lied. It's not blue. It's orange because Trump said, like, that's them. That's them. It's crazy. And it even gets crazier because, as you know, some of them, right? Not all of them, and maybe they aren't all MAGA that voted for Trump. There's probably people who were just like, didn't pay attention, because we know that did happen, right? People just, this electorate just didn't pay attention. They didn't read anything. They were just like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Joe Rogan said, Fox News said, TikTok said, like, so they weren't reading facts. They were just like, I don't even know. Or maybe listening to Trump himself, because it's just a crazy thing to me. On one side, you had a woman who said, qualified district attorney, attorney general, senator, vice president, and you still had people saying, oh, she's an idiot. Huh? I don't like her laugh. What? DEI hire. What the hell you mean DEI hire? She had to be elected. People voted for her. DEI hire. She took the bar exam and passed it. Yeah, she failed it on the first time, passed on the second time. She passed it. That is most important. Every attorney has not passed the bar exam on the first time. Newsflash, who knew? What bar exam did Trump pass? Did he even pass? Did he even graduate college? Do we even know that? We have not even seen Trump's transcripts. Trump is a braggart. If Trump got good grades, we would see his transcript. But remember, he had his fixer, Mike Cohen, go out and threaten the school to say, do not release anything. Right. There's a reason for that. But they called that woman the DEI hire when Trump and every one of the people that he is trying to appoint are unqualified. Not a little bit, wholly unqualified. You got Hegseth that is accused of rape, right? Who settled that case, and she can't speak about it because she signed papers that she can't talk about it anymore. But why'd you settle if you didn't do it, dude? Right? So he's accused of rape. He's also a drunk because we have evidence of that. We've seen that. We've seen the video. We've seen the pictures. We've heard people say that work with him that he has a drinking problem. He was the head of a veterans organization that he mismanaged, but that's the guy that we want to manage our military. I mean, he did have Matt Gaetz that he nominated too. Gaetz stepped down because of no one liked him, right? So he knew he wasn't going to get through anyway because they just didn't like him. But this is a guy that was accused of sleeping with teenagers. Trump's like, it's all right. Nominate him anyway. We got RFK Jr., who is not a doctor, who doesn't believe in vaccinations, who they want to head the health department. The guy that doesn't believe in vaccinations and that a worm died in his brain. He also abused like a bear, right? Like just all kinds of animal abuse going on with RFK Jr. But that's the guy that he wants to put as lead of our health department. And it just goes on and on with just like, why, what is happening? It's just like all of his friends. He's just like, you want a job? Let's just give you all jobs. It's just a big grift. Just get paid. Don't do anything. The government's just going to pay you free money. Because that's exactly what this is. He did manage to give a Black person, the HUD job, which we knew was going to happen. He's going to get the HUD job. Like, why not? It's urban development. Urban equals Black, right? Of course it does. Like, it's bizarre. But these are the people who voted for Trump. Let's take a listen.
God bless America. God bless. So, have to pay probably taxes. So, anyhow, taxes are paid by the American people to the Democrats. Now that we have a Republican Party coming in, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's going to make them pay tariffs. Once they pay these high tariffs, instead of making the American tax people pay them, we won't have to pay taxes anymore. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, individual. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump.
That's why Donald Trump is going to be president, because of that. That's why Donald Trump is going to be president. Yes, maybe she's drunk. Maybe she has a drug issue. That will explain, her eyes and her pupils being dilated. But the thing that's coming out of her mouth, those are the things that she believes. Those are things that she has said. Those are things that her and her friends talk about. That she pays taxes to Democrats. Like, so Democrats are collecting taxes from people and we're also controlling the weather. Like, dang, Democrats, like, we could do all that. Why didn't we win this election? Like, we should have been able to control how people voted so we could have won. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, people didn't even try to understand what was going on. And that's the thing that just drives me crazy because I mean, just minimal looking things up. What plan would, I don't know, lower the cost of college tuition, like Democrats or Republicans? Like, what do you think? Donald Trump has never even talked about that. Like, zero, never. But see, MAGA don't care about education. Because why would you care about education when you're so busy hating on the brown people coming over the border? That's the most important thing. I don't care about my teeth. I don't care about my health care. I don't care about the cost of my prescriptions. I don't care. I really don't care about the cost of groceries. I lied to y'all. I don't care about eggs. I don't care if RFK Jr. doesn't want milk pasteurized. I don't care about none of those things. I don't care if we get polio, mumps, measles, rubella. I don't care about none of that. I don't care. Just don't let those brown people come across the border. That's what's important. And it's like, it was important to people who didn't even live in border states. They were talking about the border. They were talking about they're coming to get my jobs. Right? Until they found out about the H-1B visas, where employers allow Indians to come into these tech jobs. And then the MAGA are like, wait, what you mean, right? Like, what do you mean they're taking our tech jobs, right? Because that's what Elon wants. Matter of fact, Elon called MAGA subtards. And Vivek Ramaswamy basically said that Americans are dumb, Indians are smart. That's why we want them to come and do the tech jobs. So now the white MAGA are mad because the Indians are coming to take the white jobs. It's confusing. Are y'all following this? Because it's very difficult to follow. It's like, what's happening here? What is happening here? It's just, MAGA's just dumb. That's just it. They're just dumb and racist. Anyway, so that's how they think tariffs work. So anyway, Trump, we know what happened. He won the election. He made promises of, closing the border down. He also said that he was going to lower the cost of groceries. That was a campaign promise. So now, what is Donald Trump talking about? What is he talking about? He ain't talking about lowering the cost of groceries because he's already said, well, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. He ran on it, but now he said he's not going to be able to do that. Well, what is he going to be able to do? Tax cuts for the wealthy, though. That's what he's going to be able to do. That's what he wants to do. So let's listen to someone explain exactly what Trump is saying now that he's going to do.
Trump has just told us what his priorities are as president. to free people that assault cops and cut taxes for the rich. Those are his two big priorities, right? It's not raising the minimum wage. It's not protecting access to health care. It's not even lowering costs. It's tax cuts for the rich and freeing the people that assaulted the cops on his behalf.
So this is the opposite of populism. This is the opposite of the bullshit that Steve Bannon and his types try to tell us that the Trump MAGA message is about. The richest 0.1% of taxpayers got a $250,000 tax cut. The poorest quintile in this country got a $70 tax cut. That's the story of the 2017 Trump tax cut that he's trying to extend.
Trump is letting violent criminals out of jail to roam the streets in your neighborhood. Look, we took Trump at his word. You know, he ran on making life more affordable for people and cutting costs, and he's breaking his promise. He's betraying the people who voted for him.
And I think we need to really push it hard.
Of course he's betraying the people who voted for him. And honestly, the part of the people who voted for him didn't care. They didn't care about any of it. I'm sure that there are some people who really think that Trump is going to, I don't know, like lower the cost of groceries. Well, that's not going to happen. He said it's not going to happen. They really think like the economy is doing bad. It's like the economy is not doing bad. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, if the economy is doing bad, you would actually like feel it. It wouldn't be the groceries are high because that's a grocery store corporation issue. That's your grocery store chains that are price gouging, right? But as far as the economy is doing, like, you're not having any issues, you know, finding a car, there's houses, wages are up. Unemployment is really low. Yeah, people are still struggling. That people are always struggling. Was there a time when people weren't struggling? I don't know. Let me know when people were not struggling. And don't tell me like, well, when Trump was president, no one was struggling. Yeah, that's not true. But the economy was good the first couple of years Trump was president. You know why? Because Obama gave him a great economy. It was booming again. Jobs were being created. Unemployment was down. The stock market was doing great, just like now. Trump keeps saying, he can't wait to get in because everything is just going to shit, right? He's trying to act like the economy is so bad right now so that when he gets in there, like the day he steps foot in there, he's going to take credit for everything. The infrastructure bill, all these new manufacturing companies from Biden, he's going to try to take credit for it. All of it, right? The chip manufacturing, the bridges being, fixed and made, the roads and broadband. Trump's going to come in and act like he did all of that, and he didn't do shit. Veterans benefits being expanded. Trump's going to try to take credit for it. We know who did that. So you keep telling your friends and your neighbors, thank you, Biden, because Biden has done that shit. I mean, just this week, it's like he knows he has very little time left. So he's like, closing the gaps on a lot of things that people don't even think about. He's already doing. Right now, medical bills are coming off of your credit reports. It's like 49, I don't know if it was million or $1 billion worth of credit bills are coming off of people's credit reports. They can no longer impact your credit if you have outstanding medical bills that you haven't paid. Biden did that. That is not a Trump thing. Trump doesn't, or Republicans, just Republicans in general, don't think about anything for the people. When is the last time that you have heard, Roy, if your racist crazy ass is still here, you put right here in the chat, what have Republicans done for the people? What have they proposed that actually help people? Oh, wait, was it lowering prescription costs? Oh, no. That wasn't them. That was Biden and Harris. Lower prescription costs. Oh wait, Republicans did the junk fees, right? Getting rid of the airline junk free fees and all the banking fees. Oh no, that was Biden. Remember that? Wait, what? I thought Republicans did something else. Some school loan forgiveness for people in the service industry. Oh no, wait, that was Biden again. Like, what are they doing? Like, tell me, what are they doing? He's not. That's MAGA for you. They knock on doors, then run like children. Yeah, Rory's gone because he sucks. Like, I just want someone to tell me who's out there the things that Republicans are doing for the average person. Like, just give me something, right? Kamala even came out and said, I want to stop price gouging. Democrats have already tried to pass price gouging bills that Republicans blocked. That's for the people. Republicans blocked things like a bill so women can breastfeed. Republicans want to force women to have babies, but then turn around and block a bill so that women can breastfeed. Like, it's just in public. That's just or that offices have to have places for women to breastfeed. Like, that's nuts to me. So again, what do Republicans do for actual people? The only thing that Republicans talk about are like taxes. Oh, we're going to lower your taxes. You heard the guy speak. Yeah, his 2017 tax cuts, the normal person got $70. Wealthy people, what? They got the super load. Like, it's for them. He takes care of them. That's why he's giving them jobs in his administration. He's giving them tax cuts. Those people are like, quid pro quo. That's what they do. You rub my back, I rub your back. We are not involved in that. They don't care about us. What else have the Republicans done? Did they have the chip manufacturing company here in America? Was that them? Oh no, it wasn't, right? That was Biden too. Like, I don't get it. But Republicans and MAGA continue to vote for this guy that talks about nothing. Daycare. I still haven't heard the answer to that question. He was asked 4 times that I've heard during his campaign, how would he lower the cost of daycare? One time I heard him, he started talking about tariffs. The other times, I don't know, maybe he started talking about boats and sharks and shit, but he didn't answer the question because he doesn't have an answer to that question because he just doesn't understand it. He doesn't, that doesn't compute because he doesn't care. So, and that's the thing that it's the connection is kind of crazy to me because that's how you know that a country really is divided, and it's never about policy with Republicans. It's about their tribe. And Democrats, we're always trying to find out the best way, the best person to do the best thing. We go back and forth with one another. We're not like just all on one page all the time because we're always looking for the best way to do the best things. They just fall in line with wealthy people get tax cuts. Like, they just fall in line. They're okay with that. So that's just kind of a crazy situation. So also, this week we did hear Trump give a presser. I don't know what the presser was supposed to be about, but this thing was like a marathon presser. He talked for like over an hour. It was endless. He talked about, I don't even remember all of it. It was just a rambling bunch of stuff. He was mad at the windmills because the windmills driving the sharks on the Cape crazy. He's also mad. The plumbing in Mar-a-Lago must suck because he keeps talking about Democrats are taking the water and when you run the shower, it's a drip, 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 drip. Like he said that. He said he's a drip, 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 drip. I mean, what's wrong with his plumbing? Like, what is he talking about? Democrats are taking your water. It's the water pressure. It's like, Donald, call a plumber and get your water pressure fixed, because that sounds like a problem, because you keep talking about the shower and your water pressure. I'm very concerned. Either you're probably not taking great showers either if your water pressure sucks. So that's kind of crazy. He also talked about, like, now he wants to make Canada a state. He wants to take Greenland. He wants Greenland for our national security. He also wants to make the Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. Let's check that out.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate.
He's an idiot. I should have had, oh, hi, Gypsy. I should have had for Gypsy the video of Trump giving fellatio on stage, because that's just a great one. Hey, Gypsy, since you're here, why don't you tell us all the great things that the Republicans have done? Because we're trying to figure out the good things Republicans have done for people. We're trying to figure out if Republicans have offered bills to lower prescription costs, lower the cost of, insulin, if they're capping prices for seniors, if they're helping with daycare costs, giving free pre-K. Like, can you let us know if the Republicans are doing all of those things, or is it just the racism that you like? Let us know which it is. Is it like, the free, lowered cost of prescriptions, or is it the racism? Like, what is it that you like about Trump? Racism, ain't it? Is it the bigotry? Is the way he does the trans people? We know. We got you. Oh my God. These people, they're wild. So anyway, that's him talking about the Gulf of America. None of that shit is going to happen. And it's so funny. So Kamala had to do the certification, which she did, went without a hitch. Democrats didn't go to the Capitol building and smear shit and piss all over the place. They didn't go riot. They just accepted it, because that's what you do. You don't go around saying, it was rigged, it was scammed. Even if you feel that it was without proof, it's nothing. You have to have something tangible. You can't run around like fucking the orange madman. So she did what she had to do. I mean, she's very strong, right? Because again, like I said, these MAGA and the MAGA in the chat, right? They always want, she's DEI. They just hate strong Black women. So that's part of the problem, because they're all impotent and running around here with small dick energy. So they definitely hate Kamala, because we already know Trump is impotent. He's the biggest loser, because that's why he was looking at her upside her head today and looking mean, because he knows even though he won the election, he's still a loser. Nobody respects him, right? His minions, those Republicans, they're just kissing up to him so they can get what they need. Like, it's not about, they don't respect him. They don't fucking like him. He probably smells bad, but they know that they can, give him some compliments, and then they can get what they need from him, because he's a sucker. And that's why Putin controls him. But going back to our Madam Vice President, she's such a strong woman. She's dealt with so much to get where she is. And I always say this is like Black people have to work twice as hard to get half as far as their white counterparts. And it's true. So you know that the Ketanjis in the Supreme Court, she's got more experience than All of them. And her little finger. So more education, more experience, right? But remember, she's a DEI hire. They didn't say that about Kavanaugh. They didn't say that about Amy Coney Bryan or whatever her name is. Ketanji has more experience than all of them. But nope, it can't. She's a Black woman. So she has to be stupid, right? She has to be. No, we're not being racist. This is a fact. No, y'all are racist, right? Because let me just play this video and then I'll talk about a conversation that Brian and I had. Are they still in here? Trump. Somebody said Trump cares. Cares about what? His fucking wallet.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for your work. Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, sure. Okay.
That way just a little bit. There you go. Thank you so much.
So that's the shit that Black professionals have to deal with just all of the time. It's the dog whistles. And I talked to Brian on the Black and White show on Tuesday about that video, because when I saw the video initially earlier this week, I was like, oh God, that's racist as hell, right? But I sometimes check myself to say, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it is a Democratic thing, but this sure do look like racism, right? Like this really looks like racism. And I'm like, I guarantee in my head, I'm thinking like, now, if that was Biden, would he have shook Biden's hand? Because why didn't he shake her hand? And then when I spoke to Brian, Brian's like, oh no, this woman's been reelected multiple times. So he did shake Biden's hand before. Yeah, that's racist, right? He didn't want to shake the Black woman's hand because they have vilified this woman so much that he's just like, and this is how MAGA is, because that's why they're in the chat now, right? Trump has won, right? Just think about it. Trump has won, but they find their way here to be gross and disgusting and mean because they don't have anything else to do. They're just like, I don't know, underachievers that are just upset and have blown their 400-year head start. That's how I explain it. It's pretty sad. But that happened. But what time is it? 7:53? So we're going to wrap it up because it is almost 8 o'clock. Brian, let me know if the Supreme Court has ruled, because we already know. So right now, Trump is supposed to be sentenced tomorrow, or let's call him the felon because the MAGA hate when we call him felon. The felon is supposed to be sentenced on tomorrow, but of course he ran to the Supreme Court because those are his buddies to stop it. And that's probably going to happen tonight, that they will stop it. He's not going to be sentenced tomorrow because, white privilege, that's the thing. So he's not going to be sentenced until after the 4 years, if he makes it the 4 years. But yeah, we're not going to see it. So let me know when that does happen. But in closing, I do want to play this video for the sane people and the Democrats, because some people need to hear it.
And the future we share.
Oh, wait a minute. I played the end of it. Hold on. Here we go.
Over the holidays, I urge you, then after you have had some rest, in fact, I challenge you to come back ready to chart our path to the future. Chin up, shoulders back, ready to summon your drive, your energy, your passion to help our fellow Americans, and be ready to get back to work, fighting for opportunity and freedom, fighting for fairness and dignity, and fighting for this country we love and the future we share.
And that's right. I'm going to talk about that, Brian, in a minute. But that's right. We get back on the horse and you fight. Everybody didn't have billionaires who bought an election. Like, that's just what it is. And again, is the felon actually the president, or is it Elon? Because it's a little confusing with what's going on. Is, you know, sometimes Trump's not talking, sometimes Elon is talking, and Trump is like the vice president. Who even knows where Vance is? So I don't know. I do think in a few months, once he's sworn in, I don't know, Elon's probably just gonna run the stuff. Who knows? But we do need to pick ourselves up. Midterms are coming. We got to get the House and the Senate. So we got this. We got this. He's got so many inexperienced, unqualified people that he's nominating. It's just going to be one big shit show anyway. So you know what? All we have to do is continue to tell the truth, continue to push back on these lying, nasty MAGAs. And that's what we do. So, Brian, you said that. I'm glad you read that because I was waiting for this decision. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court denies Trump's bid to stay his criminal sentence. And so that's great because I was prepared in my head. I'm just like, oh, my God, he spoke to Alito already. So he's already got it. But who voted which way is what I would like to know. And it's so stupid because they probably said like, yo, you're not going to jail anyway. But the good thing is now MAGA can stop running around saying he's not a felon because he hasn't been sentenced yet. So I guess after tomorrow, we can actually say it's official, MAGA. He's a freaking felon, which he was a felon before he even got caught, but that's just another thing. But anyway, everyone, okay, so Thomas Alito, my glasses on. Thomas Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh dissented. Oh, interesting. Of course, Thomas. Like, Thomas is just like, he's an attaboy. He's going to stay with that white supremacy. He don't care. He don't care at all. Oh, look at whoever Sir Cada is upset. No, it's too bad. Anyway, everyone, I'm glad that you guys could make it. Even the MAGA. Hey, MAGA, why don't y'all subscribe? Meet me back here next Thursday. Matter of fact, you can meet me on Tuesday with Brian Rundle on the Black and White Show at 7 o'clock, and then come back over here on Thursday. We'd love to have you. Thank you, Brian, for showing up. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, baby Juggernaut. Who else is in here? Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Stay warm if you are in a cold climate. If you are out there and you are in California, if you are near the fires, please stay safe. If you are displaced right now, I am thinking about you. Everyone, please take care. Thank you. Bye.